What's up guys, this is Wade with Trade ATS. Want to welcome you to another video here, and today I'm going to be talking about Bitcoin. Now it's been a long time since I've made a video about Bitcoin. Actually it's been since January 29th, 2019 since I've made a video about Bitcoin. So there's a good amount to talk about here. One thing that I'm going to own up to right off the bat, if you watch that old video, I came in right about here and I was thinking for sure that we are going to head down. Or I didn't say for sure. No one's for sure about anything. But I said there was a good chance we were going to head down and take out this liquidity down in the $1,000 range. I thought it was a possibility, or getting down below. We had a liquidity line here, 1822 price level, basically down in here. And our algorithms changed a little bit since then. We've updated it. We have less liquidity lines now, so it's not completely identical, but it's the same idea that I was talking about with these lines you see here. So I was thinking for sure that there was a good possibility that we can go down there. And the reason I felt like that, just based on the news and the sentiment at the time, to me, it made the most sense that the institutions would be able to drive price down into that neighborhood to get the best deal to fuel the next move. But anything can happen, obviously. The market turned around literally from like that week that I made that video was the settling of the bottom here. It didn't go past a low and then turned up and then went up from there. So I left it at that. I got busy with other projects. We got a lot of stuff going on. What I failed to do is I failed to make a follow-up video because I got a lot of other stuff that I look at other than Bitcoin, and we got a lot of stuff going on. What I should have done is made a follow-up video because we got some crucial information right after that point. We got a contraction box that happened, which signals a new market setup. And then you can see we got an expansion line through here. And then boom, a huge bullish signal right at this point as we blew through that expansion level. I didn't make a follow-up video on that. Again, I was busy. Making videos was not my priority at this time. So I just kind of let it go. I apologize for that. So if you're one of these guys in the comments saying that wow, this video didn't age well and all that stuff, kind of fine. My fault. I should have did the follow-up video, but again, it's not my main focus to sit here and make YouTube videos. So anyway, I just wanted to revisit that, own up to it. Yeah, I was wrong. It didn't make its way down. I thought for sure there was a good chance it was going to head down there because it made a lot of sense for institutions to come grab that liquidity, but it didn't end up happening. Either way, if you would have stuck with the story, what we talk about and what we teach our subscribers is that you are supposed to mold with the market. We're just coming up with possibilities of what can happen, but what actually happens is what you need to adapt to. And we got crucial architecture at this level with that box, and this blowing up through that level is giving us the true intention of the institutions. And that would have changed the information, obviously, from when I originally made that video. So just want to clear that up. It's there, but now that's obviously way in the past. That doesn't really matter. What's going on right now? We actually, because we mainly focus on currencies, as a software company and with our subscribers, most are going to be trading the major currency pairs, things like that. But obviously crypto's heating up. We do a lot of stuff with crypto in-house. But usually for the subscriber's sake, we're focused on currencies. But obviously these markets are heating up. I've been getting some people that want a follow-up video on Bitcoin. What's happening right now? What are the possibilities? So we actually, in our webinar earlier today, today's Tuesday, December 22nd, I was asked to do something on Bitcoin, kind of what I think my thoughts are, and the possibilities. So I think, I think the conversation turned out to be pretty interesting and helpful. So I'm going to put it out there for you guys. I'm going to show you a clip from the webinar, where I was asked that question, and let you check that out because I think it could be helpful. This is a disclaimer. I'm not telling you guys to buy or sell your Bitcoin or do anything. What we're doing is just analysis from the institutional perspective. Okay, that's what, and what I don't want is for this video to be thought of like the last video. It's just a point of view and an outlook, something to think about, that you can take into consideration as you're making choices with your Bitcoin investments or your crypto assets. It's a point of view of analysis that we're putting out there. That's it. All right. So make your own decisions. But I do think that you could probably benefit from what we discussed on the webinar. So that being said, let's get into that. You can check it out. Understanding the trend of the week is those days that fall in line with that weekly direction have the potential to be much more significant trends than days against that. Usually the days against that are going to be either, if it's going to be a significant trend, it's usually going to have to be somewhat of a reversal or a pullback on the weekly trend, right? So anyway, it's just something to think about, because at the end of the day, we're just trying to stack clues to get a better sense of probability in our favor. That's all it is. It's probability and risk management. So the screen you guys are looking at here is a way to get clues. It's a way to build a story. Anyway, hopefully that kind of clears things up, makes sense a little bit. Okay, now I'm gonna get back to some questions here. Hang on, guys.
Hey, Wade, we actually got a request to take a look at Bitcoin just because it hit, all-time record highs here pretty recently. Could we spend 5 minutes just looking at that on maybe like a weekly and daily chart?
Yep, that's actually a really good idea. Okay, let's take a look at Bitcoin. This one I am going to jump back to the monthly just to see. Okay, so what do we happen, guys? Remember what we were talking about here? We had that psychological point. Remember, as far as the box goes, that's the halftime. Remember, that's halftime scores tied, right? Between buying team and the selling team. Okay, we had a breakout out of the box. Selling team took over, but what was the trend? What's the overall trend? Up, right? So when the selling team, someone wanted to bet on the selling team right here as it went down. You're sitting in the stands, halftime's in the box, it breaks out short, everybody follows. They say, oh no, sellers are going to win, right? But you know the overall trend. So you say, I'll take that bet. I'm still betting on the buying team. This is where the bets happen, right? This is where it's, and I don't gamble or anything, so I want to make that clear. This is not gambling. So for lack of a better term, I'm using the word bet because you have to come up with a decision where you think price is going. So I just want to clarify that. Don't want to tie it into gambling because that's not what we do here. But that's where, this is where people are willing at this point, when you get that breakout, they're willing to say, I think selling team's going to win. And you say, okay, I'll take that bet against you. I'm still betting on the buying team, because you can overall see the trend is going up. That's where you get your strong entry, and that's where the new liquidity floods into the market. This is why Bitcoin didn't go anywhere for a year, because it had to contract. After you have this kind of monster gain, the price has to contract to create new opportunity. This creates a new belief cycle. Price breaks out short. Everybody says, okay, banks are, or Bitcoin's going to get outlawed, blah, whatever the news is to get people's beliefs thinking that, it's going to go down, but overall the trend's still moving upward. That's where you guys get your bargain pricing. And sure enough, there's the next leg up, right? So that's how you guys got to think of those contraction points. Those are institutionally significant levels, because what the process I just described is what's happening there. New beliefs are going to be born, which is going to cause new money to flow into the market, which is going to cause opportunity to either be a winner or a loser. Based on the insight, the edge comes from understanding what the trend is. Actually, very, very simple, right? Simple to think about in methodology. We make it complicated, but it's very simple in its explanation. So the simpler you keep it, the easier it's going to be. So monthly obviously is headed long. This thing's blowing up. Now we're in the Bitcoin. Now we're in the phase where they're going to say blue skies, right? We're past the highs. This is where speculation is going to take over, and the rise on Bitcoin. Let me jump down a weekly while I'm talking about this. Look at that. See, was this a clue? Weekly chart. The overall trend is going long. Weekly chart breaks out. Is this a clue for a short trend? Guys, I'm going to put this in the chat for me right now. when you get this pullback right here, and this comes down here, is this a clue for a rise when you get a rejection, or is this a clue that the market's going to fall apart and go short? Just type in long or short, guys, in the chat. What do you think when you see something like this rejection? Is that a clue that the market's going to go up or down? Right. We got a rise in the chat. Thank you. Long, long, long. Okay. Thank you, guys. Yeah, you guys are seeing it right. So when you get this clue on the framework that lines up with the fundamentals, is it time to act? Yep, from Robert says yes. Heck yeah. Heck yeah. It's when the information, when the framework, you guys have the institutionally significant framework on your screen. When that framework, when the clues line up with the fundamental direction, you have an entry. Hopefully that makes sense to you guys, because it's not a matter, if you guys hear what I'm saying, it's not a matter of how many pips is it going to pull back. You know, what's the stop loss and take profit? It's not a matter of figuring out the exact price looking pattern. It's a matter of information aligning. When the information is telling the same story across time frames, then you're going to get a move in that direction, and you're typically going to get a low risk management point. So we're not always going to be right, obviously, but that's where you can take your shot at it and see what happens. So going back, you know, right now that's blue skies ahead, and this is kind of the danger zone. Honestly, guys, I don't know. Like all I know is that trading Bitcoin, you know, this was where you got great information. If you're waiting for the trend to take hold, you had this rejection in the direction of the monthly trend, you know, ripping this turn right here. Obviously hindsight's 2020. I know I'm not going to minimalize how difficult it is in real time, but we have to look at hindsight to learn and look at you know, how things behave to come up with a model of the future, right? So this situation will happen again, and from what you learn here, you will be able to make a decision. Will they all work out? No, but you will have tight risk, which is the most important thing. So right now that it is running up, and you know, this is where you're going to get everybody on YouTube and everybody saying it's, you know, Bitcoin's going to the moon, $100,000 price prediction, $200,000 price prediction. And I have no idea. It may pump that high because now they're saying institutional money's coming in, all kinds of things that are giving it reasons why it's going to get this you know, huge move to the upside, right? But we really don't know. And what I do know is that right now, as far as piling, I'm not saying don't buy some Bitcoin, but would you want to go heavy on your investment when you guys know the last level of significant framework is down here? This is one of those things. This is the difference between you guys with your understanding and everybody else that's out there. The difference is you guys see an opportunity right here, and no matter what the news says, if you guys keep your mind right about you understand the last significant framework that I have to manage risk by really is down here. That's a very long way away. Now, I'm telling you right now, the institutional money, unless they know something we don't know, like there's going to be some huge mass adoption that's not announced yet, which they very well may know. We don't have all the information either. But the institutions typically sell out above highs to the masses that come in based off of hype. They're trading off of a tip, you know, that they heard on YouTube. But for you guys that are professionals, understand the risk controlled framework is down here. You know, you could possibly use this level as well if you do get a significant pullback. You know, you got these levels right here and right here to work with. Until then, you know, you can buy it a little bit, but you know, I would save the majority of your investment until you get good risk controlled framework. Now, don't get mad at me if it does go to 200,000 and it goes straight up. Yeah, well, I should have just bought. Yeah, you very well could have, you know, 50-50, it could keep going up and you'll make money. But in the long run, You guys have to have good risk controlled framework to consistently win. This would be a gamble. If you win, there's 50-50 chance you get cleaned out, or at least get pushed. If you get in too heavy, your pain threshold's going to get pushed and you're going to want to give up that position. So as of right now, we have no framework. It's just pushing. It's in my opinion, we're on how far is the Ponzi scheme going to go? Because essentially, until you get mass adoption on these cryptocurrencies, in my opinion, they're going to behave. I'm not saying they are Ponzi schemes, but what I am saying is that they're going to behave that way because it's pushed up on excitement. And excitement is based off of the pain and pleasure principle. When the excitement stops and it gets a significant pause and there's not enough mass adoption to hold it at that level, then pain thresholds start getting pushed. And when pain thresholds start getting pushed without the mass adoption to hold it in place, you get a full collapse. It's exactly what happened here. If this collapsed right back to where the true values, you guys see the general trend that's happening from this low to this low right here. That's really kind of your value projection on this, right? So it would have to really get up in this neighborhood and range out for a while to establish a new value point. When you get that contraction, those contractions in that area, and then the price stays up around that area, that's where you get a new value point established for future price action. We haven't had that yet. So right now you're riding on a prayer in this one, but there was a lot of great money to be made from a risk controlled entry down here. But up here, you guys do the math. You guys have the insight. I don't think it's wise to go all in. You could buy it lightly if you want, but I would say save your big artillery for the risk controlled entry, my opinion.
Hey,
I
Wade.
don't know yeah.
Oh, sorry. I thought I was getting in at a lull and you're gonna stop. There was a question from Joe. So Joe asked, would you use the lower liquidity line as your stop? And I just wanted to make a quick point. In a situation like what Wade's talking about, so you see that pullback and then the big push up, you would see that, and this is a weekly chart, you would use that to define your direction. Actually managing your stop, you would likely do that on your lower time frames. So you would find a level, like a clue that goes in line, kind of what Wade was talking about. You'd find a clue that goes in line with that overall direction on your higher time frame, and then you would find a level to manage your stop with lower risk on your lower time frame.
Yeah, exactly. So if you guys are looking, if you're looking to short-term scalp Bitcoin, that's a different game, obviously. What I was talking about before is long-term hold, which is what most people are doing. They're hodling or whatever the heck they say, right? That's what I'm talking about is long-term hold. So based off the weekly, monthly charts, I don't know if it's great for a long-term hold position. I'm not saying don't buy it lightly, depending on what your appetite is. You want to get in the game, that's fine, but save your big artillery for better risk-controlled framework. Now on the lower time frame, it's a different story because you have much tighter framework being established, right? Let's see where the entries are here. Right here, boxes, you can see that we come through, you're getting price respecting this expansion level right here. Pulls that's your clue that you're going to get a pullback when you see that type of behavior, right? So as you get the pullback, price protected right here. See how it goes short, price gets protected, goes short again, boom, blows through price. That's not protecting sell orders anymore. When you get that, that's a big clue, right? So if you're going to buy into momentum, this is the type of action you'd want to see for a momentum setup where you just buy in the direction of the trend, because you had a clue of protection here and then it totally disregarded that clue. You guys see that? And simultaneously with that, you got a new institutionally significant level with the ATS framework. But see how the clue hold and the clue failed. Clue failed, you got informational alignment with the higher time frames. Right here. Is that protecting price from this previous level? Is that a clue for a long move or a clue for a short move? It's a clue for a long move. Informational alignment at this point with the higher trend. Boom. So you guys are looking for that informational alignment along with the general price action. You still got to have a feel for price action. And when you get the informational alignment with the higher trend, then you get your entry. And if it's not a good risk controlled entry, that's something that's going to be situationally specific. But that's generally what I don't care if it's Bitcoin, I don't care if it's XRP, I don't care if it's Euro USD, Pound USD. It's all the same. It's all trading dynamics. It's all people's belief patterns associated with the 3 market phases, because that's what powers everything. News, you name it. It's all going to fall into this because we're tracking those belief patterns, making and breaking those belief patterns. So a lot of people ask, does this work on everything? Works on everything that's heavily traded, not on thinly traded penny stocks, because there's just not enough liquidity moving around. But anything that has enough liquidity moving around is same things: informational alignment and the structure created by these institutionally significant levels because of the reasons I explained before. So put the story together, and then you guys will figure out, what the possibilities are. Don't dump all your Bitcoin just because I said, make sure you guys make your own decisions. At the end of the day, there's risk controlled entry and there's probabilities. So, we have to do our best, but it starts with risk control and coming up with a battle plan that's most likely going to happen based off your higher time frame. That's where it starts, and you guys get good enough at that, the rest will take care of itself.